First big hug to Brazil. Oh my God, you're a beautiful people. You're a beautiful country. You make fantastic movies.
Where is this from?
This is from my own show, my own podcast. Yeah.
Oh, really cool.
Chris, Fancy Sparks, if you could go back to, that time and imagine what are you going to get into the whole Hollywood world and become like a superhero, what would you think at that time?
Man, I mean, it's hard for me to put into words because I'm on this journey. It's me, it's my life. But if I was to know back then when I was doing Parks and Recreation that my career would go in the way that it has gone, I mean, it'd be really hard for me to believe, I think. Every step since being kind of plucked from obscurity and being able to chase my dream as an actor has been surreal. Every single incremental step to where I am right now, it's been surreal.
Hey, well, nice to meet you, man. It's fantastic that you're coming into this world with such an intriguing and powerful character. Did you have the chance to, know Adam Warlock a little better?
The comic was really helpful in that respect, and getting sort of two source materials is a real privilege anytime you do an adaptation. So not only did I have the comic to read, but I had James's incredible script and then also two movies to kind of reference as far as tone. So I had so much of the hard work done for me, but I feel genuinely honored and grateful to have the responsibility of playing this character and, being a part of the MCU.
The peace between realities.
Jonathan, the fans are looking for like a villain that is up to Thanos up until this point. It's a big boots to fill, but I think it fits. What do you think about that responsibility?
Well, I mean, I'm just flattered because Josh Brolin and his portrayal of Thanos was absolutely incredible. So I'm just going to do the best I can with my guy and hope to contribute, the same way he did, if not more.
Good friends we have and good friends we've lost.
Wakanda, although it's a fictional place, it has become very real and very powerful in the minds of millions. What's your perspective on this phenomenon?
Oh my God, that's a great question, man. Wakanda exists for so many people, and I think that Wakanda exists in a space of hope. Wakanda is the idea that we all could be seen as our very best selves. Wakanda is the vision for a world where it's inclusive and it's a future.
It's very important to me and to, I think, all of us, because it is something that represents an underrepresented voice, experience, perspective, complexity. There were ways that people who look like us were never considered for this type of platform, this type of storytelling. And now the big question is why?
We portrayed a positive Africa, we portrayed positive characters and very diverse culture, and this is something that hasn't been shown that often. Yes, it's a fictive country, but at the end of the day, doesn't it open our mind thinking like, wow, we're not the only ones, and maybe everybody who's different or things that are different are not that bad?
There's been a dearth that is inexplicable, and this telling of the story has just cracked that way open.
Throughout the 20th century, the comic book characters and the comic book heroes, they're all being like Eurocentric white people and mostly men. 21st century finally have the chance to embrace the diversity the world brings, the reality of the world. How do you guys feel about being part of this at this point?
Proud. I feel really proud because I never thought to be here. I never thought in my life to be here. This is a dream that I never dreamed. So right now I can't believe this has happened to me, and I don't know, it's huge. See all these different faces, these all colors. I don't know. I hope the people feel happy for all this diversity and all these important things in the movie.
I couldn't be here if many people for years, decades and generations, if they didn't cross the border before me, I couldn't be here. These people, they left everything. It's not my sacrifice. My sacrifice is different. You have this responsibility to say, first, thank you. Second, thank you. Third, thank you. Because without that people, this kind of stories, this kind of representation wouldn't exist. So, again, thank you. Obrigado.
The group of us together, working together, we're all very different, ethnicities, skin colors, and coming together and creating this story in this time of life, the world. It's very empowering.
What would you say is the most powerful message that people are going to have Black Panther 2 that will add to the experience of the first one?
I think at the end of the day, it's about being optimistic. Because at the end of the day, you have to be open for change. Change is scary. Change can hurt. Change can be something that you don't want, but we all have to go through life, and it sometimes opens up our mind, and that's just how it is. It's a very optimistic way of seeing things.
I can never tell you what impact a story is going to have, because everyone is going to have their own experience.
Right.
But what it does is, it's very important to show that these characters have arcs, they have complexities, they have journeys to take beyond just one moment that we saw in the first film. And that is something that would definitely happen for everybody in the second one.
And when I wake up,
I love the human characters of the MCU as much as the heroes. And Maria,
We might not have superpowers, but gosh darn it, we're great.
it's so fresh to see like this new take on comedy, on breaking the fourth wall. How would you take on having this new look on superhero franchise?
What I responded to in the comics, and then you see it so much in this show too, is this like irreverent sense of humor that is like winking at the fact that we know we're on a TV show. Just like She-Hulk in the comics is like always talking to the writer and sort of being like, what the hell are you doing? Often when we go to see a movie, we suspend our disbelief and we go like into another world. But She-Hulk is really like, she's aware of you're coming into the world and she's like taking you along with her.
Just want to make sure that you don't think this is one of those cameo every week type of shows. Well, except Bruce. And Blonsky. And Wong.
Karen, what would you say that is the most difficult part in directing such an intense show full of comedy and Marvel characters and special effects?
I love to quote Luis Esposito from Marvel, who said, "How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time."
Right.
And, it was really just about breaking it down and shooting it the way you would shoot anything else, because really it is a story about humanity and being a human and being a woman juggling a career and family and friends. And so at the end of the day, everything else came second to that.
Maria Hill has been like playing on the sidelines for so long, and she needs to come into the field. How can we expect to see more Maria Hill play in the field?
Maria Hill is always taking care of business, and she's usually taking care of business behind the scenes. So I like to think work is getting done because she's there, and she doesn't need the glory. She is just there to get work done and keep people safe.
Silent protector, right?
Yes.
What was your take on this character? I mean, being the rival of She-Hulk. I mean, what is your take on this?
Titania is a very insecure, infuriating, and stressful woman. And she's just a dick, and we just made this character a cartoon, really, of a person. And I think for me the hardest part was actually having to do squats all the time, like having to train. My arse hurt for like 6 months straight. I just had to lie down for like 4 months after the show. I didn't do anything, I didn't work, because I've never moved before. And I was exercising and do jiu-jitsu and kung fu and learning how to fly in a harness, and it was really painful in the vagina. There's a lot happening. I'm actually still tired.
I'm not proud of this.
What would you say is the thing that nobody, not even Mark Ruffalo, could prepare you for playing a role like this with CGI and yourself?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think how heavy the helmet is. He did not tell me how heavy it is to carry a camera, and that was not kind of you, because it really hurts.
You bad friend! Where does Peter Quill lives in your heart?
Oh man, Peter Quill. He taught me that sometimes you just need to dance.
And bring it down hard. Dança, gatinho, dança.